Welcome to Lent for everyone for Saturday. This passage from Matthew 18 is one that is really interesting when discussing forgiveness. And I think we know the question that Peter asked, how many times should I forgive? And sometimes we think of that really lightheartedly, but he's saying, if someone does the wrong thing to me over and over, how many times should I forgive them? And sometimes we think Jesus' answer is not just 7 times, it's 77 times, but it actually means 70 times 7, or in other words, like beyond any times that you can count is how much your forgiveness should be. And I like the way N.T. Wright lays out the 3 meanings of this throughout them. So I'm just going to take us through them. The first meaning is just the simple one. If you've been forgiven, then your gratitude for that forgiveness from God should help you forgive others. That seems to be at first level what the text means. I think all of us can get that upon reading it, and upon reading the story of the unmerciful servant who was forgiven greatly and didn't forgive the one who came to him owing him a few dollars. The second level of it is that if we can't forgive, then we're actually not able to receive love from God, or we're not able to receive the forgiveness of God. In other words, we cut ourselves off from being able to receive God's forgiveness if our hearts become hard. And I think that's something real and something really deep to understand with this. This might not be directly in the text. We can't drill into it. But the idea, and we've seen it with folks, and maybe we've been those people where we've cut ourselves off from being able to receive that love and forgiveness of God. The third description he has is that Jesus is the great Jubilee. The Jubilee year was something that happened in a matter of every 7 years. There was kind of a Sabbath rest for the land in Israel, but then every 7 times 7 years, or every 50 years, there was what was called a Jubilee year, where all debts were forgiven, all slaves were free, and this is how Leviticus and the Hebrew law called the people to live. Well, that Jubilee is the picture ultimately of what the kingdom of God will become. And what Jesus is saying also here is that he is this great Jubilee. He is the plan to deal with the world's evil and sin. And in fact, forgiveness is not just a nice thing. It's actually the entire way that this Jubilee will be brought in. That's good news and amazing news. The hard part for us is honestly living into that forgiveness, I think on 2 levels, both receiving it from God and then offering it so freely to others. Might we be people of that genuine love and forgiveness right now. Amen.